Hello, my name is Adam Cribbs, and I am your host of A Tale of Two Games, where we invite an athlete onto our show and we give some highlights of two different games. One of the games you could say is the bad game, of the game where things didn't go so well, and then we show a little bit of a good game, a game where everything went well and they were the MVP. And through this show, we let people know that sometimes in sports, the difference between a good game and a bad game is a little bit of luck. So with us here today is Luke Deming, also known as Daiming Lu, from Datong FC, Datong Dianguo Gongsi. It is the company known for its excellent rice cookers, but it also has an American, now aged 33, who plays for their football team. So let's welcome Luke to our show. Well, it's great to be here today. Thank you so much for having me on your show. Well, I guess, is that your helmet right there? Yeah, I'm known for having my helmet, but I don't think I look too good with it on in the games, but I wear that for protection because I got kicked 3 times in games, and I went to the emergency room. First time I got kicked, I was 18, and then about 27, and then about 3-4 years ago. So the wife has been with me for 2 of those trips to the emergency room, so I think we shouldn't have a 4th. If I have a helmet on, I wouldn't get cut up, I wouldn't need any stitches. Well, it sounds like you're a serious goalkeeper and a serious husband. Yeah, I think you can say that. Okay, and I'm just happy to be on the show. Okay, Luke, well, let's take a look at some of the news about you recently. I guess that you were on the news for one of your most recent performances about a month ago against Futuro. Yeah, it's good to be in the news because, it's good to be in the news for good things. As a goalkeeper, a lot of times you're fortunately in the news when things go well, but sometimes if you make a ulong one of those mistakes, you make a gaffe, right, a fub, that's when you get in the news for something bad. So it's always good to be on here for something positive, right? Okay. So we're gonna move on to the first match, but some questions I want to ask you are, what do people not understand about being a goalkeeper? Well, I think that what people often don't understand is sometimes we're doing certain things where we're doing our best, and sometimes it comes down to luck. I actually might play pretty well one day and I get scored on twice. I actually might not play so well and I get a clean sheet and get no goals against me. So sometimes there's certain things out of my control, but I think that the biggest thing is people often don't see the details. So even if you watch the highlights, I think my favorite play of the game where I'm like, man, that is what separates me between an average goalkeeper. You don't really see it on the highlights. Well, fortunately for Luke today, we have actually found some of your highlights that maybe people don't notice because they don't see them on TV, they don't see them in the reruns. Well, I look forward to seeing them. Thanks so much, Adam. Okay, so we're going to go on to the first one. This game was quite long ago, right, Luke? Yeah, it was. It was 2 seasons ago, at the end of the season. So it was about in fall. Yeah, and I think I've improved as a player since then. I think I'm more fit now and things like that. It's not. I think I chose this as my bad game. It wasn't the bad game per se, but it was a kind of a game where a little bit of regret. My real bad game was against Mingchuan, and where they scored 6 goals on me, and we had scored 3. So usually, if your team scores 3, that's enough to win. And even though Mingchuan played better than us, I just felt if I could have had a really good match, we'd have had a chance to at least tie or maybe even win that match. I just felt like time and time again I couldn't make saves to get our team back in the game. Well, these things happen sometimes. You also had good results. I remember that Mingchuan game. It was when you played for the Royal Blues, yes? Yeah, that's correct. I was playing for the Blues back then, and there was games against Army where we won or tied, and I think that if they didn't have me as a goalkeeper, they wouldn't have got those results. So in the end, I don't feel bad about it, but I think when it comes down to it, you're always hoping to make a few big plays, and to be the difference between, maybe you tie a game when you're supposed to lose, or you win a game when you're supposed to tie. So you're always trying to help your team get the result that maybe it doesn't deserve. And the worst thing is if your team actually gets a bad result because of how you play. But I've been fortunate enough. I think I worked pretty hard to make sure these things don't happen. I've been very blessed where I don't think I've lost my team a match so far. Well, thank you for that explanation, Luke. We really are looking forward to seeing some of your highlights, and so we have 4 videos prepared. Let's go back and watch this one against Futuro. That was Luke at the very beginning.
台中福托罗由于11号的唐嘉伦在练习时受伤，因此本场比赛高挂免战牌。开赛前，他的队友拿着他的11号球衣，希望能与他一同奋战。果然，一开赛，台中福托罗就展现强大的进攻企图心，不断的进攻红狮禁区。而红狮在上场比赛如何大同。
Yeah, I can tell you you're looking. You want to stop for this play, yes? Yeah, I was a little curious about the play, you coming out and getting it right there. Well, to me, it's actually not that difficult of a play if you read the game pretty well. I think that most decent keepers would go out and get that ball. So you see it's on the highlight, but sometimes the things that are on the highlight, it doesn't really even make sense. Many people think that's amazing. Some keepers wouldn't go out, they would stay on their line, but to me that's a very routine play. I could barely even remember it watching the highlights later on, because that wasn't one of my big plays or one of the things that I regretted or said, wow, if I didn't do that play, we wouldn't have done so well. Well, let's keep on watching. Thank you.
之后气势正旺，在面对台中的猛攻，丝毫不退让，找到机会就反攻到台中的禁区，可惜欠缺临门一脚。比赛来到第17分钟，台中的国脚陈昭安接获队友传球，靠着个人速度切入到红狮禁区，起脚射门 ，Go！
And so, what do you think about that play? That's Jalan. He's a national team player. These kind of things happen. I thought about coming out a little bit more, but he's coming at an angle. He shot it pretty well. He shot it within about a yard or 2 of the post, which is what I always try to do. I try never let them hit the center of the net. And if maybe I could have made an extra step on that, but if I would have come out a little bit quicker, he's so much faster than me, especially because I'm standing. He could have just went around me. He was going on a 45-degree angle, so I don't really regret too much about that play. And I think it almost touched my boot. If it touched my boot, it would have actually went out. And so that's how it goes. Maybe I move forward a step, he doesn't shoot it so well, and it's a great save, and I'm a hero. And I've had a lot of those kind of saves, but it doesn't always work out for you. Well, thank you so much. Let's keep on watching. I remember this game was 2-0.
台中的陈升伟在左边路靠着个人速度切入到红狮禁区，传中给到了队友，起脚射门。
And so, can you talk about this play with us? Sure. With this play, I was, there's a guy standing right there. If I don't do anything, he's going to dribble the ball in. I'm trying to scare him because if I don't scare him, he's going to have all the time in the world to shoot. And he passed it back. And I was anticipating my defenders would be able to steal that ball. They didn't, but then I had another defender keep defending the goal. So my idea is if you can take away time from the other team, you want to put time pressure on the other team. And usually in my experience is if you put pressure on them, they're going to make more mistakes than if you don't put any pressure. So sometimes your teammates need to help you out, and that's part of life. By then it was 1-0. That was a huge save on Rikuto's part. Thank you so much. Yeah, 1-0, 2-0 is quite a bit different. So let's keep on watching.
最后为了精彩防守，也防止球队分差进一步扩大。上半场来到了尾声，台中15号的高田俊切入到红狮禁区，传球给到另一侧的陈升伟，起脚射门 ，Go！ 精彩配合也帮助台中福特。
So could you explain a little bit about this play? Yeah, this is the kind of play you regret a little bit. People don't really see it. It all happens so fast. It seems slow on TV, but you're trying to come across, and right when I touched the ball, I was almost inside the goal. You're trying to come around and make your body big. I think if I could do it again, maybe I'd have had my chest out, and it would have bounced right. But you never know if he's gonna shoot it up. Maybe I make a save. If he puts it down, I got my feet out. So it was hot. It was I was sweating quite a bit. It just hit right in the wrong spot. So if you make a save right there, you're a hero. And and that's part of life. Let's keep on watching till the end of the
再
match.
来到下半场，红狮几次试图
Gerardo's now in Datong with you.
无法突破台中的防守球员。
And so is Ben.
比赛第57分钟，红狮得到自由球的机会 ，Vera 在禁区试图吊中，可惜队友的接应没有跟上，错失了一次得分的机会。而下半场的比赛，在台中的死守之下，红狮没有获得太多的进攻机会。中场台中 Futuro 就靠着陈昭安以及陈升伟双箭头各攻下1分的表现，以2-0击败红狮，取得了2连胜。
So yeah, you see it at the very end. Well, yeah, I mean it's real close. It's right on the line. Yeah, that's life, right? I don't think people really saw it. It came so fast. You try to deflect it. I've seen even the best keepers in the world get scoring like that. So, unfortunately, it was 2-0. But I did my best that game. Oh, there was one other play that game that they didn't show in the highlights. Yeah, it was actually in the first half, and it kept it to 1-0. I came out and I used my feet at the edge of the 18, and I thought that was an awesome play that most keepers wouldn't come out and make a play on that. And it wasn't on there, and I think it kept us in the game a little bit longer. If that and the second goal, I was just inches away, right? So we could have won in the first half 0-0 if those two balls went my way, and then. So really, I was very close to having a quite good game. So it was a bad game on TV, but to me, just a little bit of bad luck. All right, well, we have something else funny to show you. We're going to speed it up a little bit for our program. But I hear that you're on the top 10 saves that week. Oh, I didn't know that. Wow, amazing.
黄球一飞身扑救，挡下马克，强行射门，
也算是赚到。
哇，这完成了！哇，太神了！哇，完成！黄球一挡下两体头锤，让航员继续维持领先。
这个赢，好，让这个开始也。
So, Choling, who now plays for Taigen, has made 3 saves, yes? He made 3 great saves. To tell you the truth, I think later on I was number 1, right? I hear something about this. His 3 saves were way better than mine. So that's also part of life. Some people say, "Oh, this is a great save," but I think if anyone who really understands keeping knows that Choling was fantastic on all those three shots. Okay, let's keep on watching.
危机，
阿强射门，危机，这就扑到了！哇哦！我还看不见，好像我像你啊！我也看不见。哦，漂亮！这个枪啊，可惜了。
这次他们是用脚打阻断了红狮最后一波进攻。
So if you remember the play against, commercial break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back to our show. We're still showing the top highlights of the week, and we have a little surprise for Luke at the very end. So what do you think about Pan Wenjia's play so far? He's already made 4 saves. Well, if you're talking about the save against Datong, the header from Juan Le, from Honor, those 4 saves were fantastic, top shelf. I don't even know if I could have made all those saves, but I'm curious why they're so far back. Those look like they should be one of the top saves of the day. We'll keep on watching. Oh, fantastic save, yes? Oh, great dive. Pretty good, yes?
面对主人的强势头锤，乐神奇爆出球，化险为夷。
基本分钟，以为转身，过来了，个机会，扣一下回来，第二个
以上是个最
What do you think?
关键，希望了本次中战正在首月1号天呐，届时还请球迷们踊跃进场，替支持的球员们多多加油。接着就这里。
That's pretty funny. I think I had a really good game. I came out and got a lot of balls in the air that people didn't see coming out of my box, making lots of big plays that ended up being the reason why, even though we were the last place team that year and Datong won the championship, we were able to tie 1-1. So it doesn't tell the whole story. I couldn't come out and get that ball because it was a really great play from Samuel, the kick in, and then Honor hit it. And to me, I came back to my line. I kind of reacted, but he hit it pretty close to my body. It wasn't really that great of a save. If I didn't make that save, I'd have been pretty ashamed of myself. But he had scored against Bahrain earlier in maybe a couple months earlier, and it was a very similar kind of play. But he didn't score me, so that just me shows you sometimes being a legendary keeper, being famous for the day. Sometimes it's more about luck as a keeper than actual skill. Well, so the bad game is over, 2-0, and the funny thing is, 2 years later on, you go against Futuro again, but this game went quite a bit better. Pretty good play, yes? Oh, that's Luke. This is the big play. Yes. So what do you think? Well, I mean, that was a pretty amazing play. It also shows you how your teammates have to help. I came out. A lot of keepers would have stayed in their net. I came out, gave Owner some pressure, and I think that he didn't realize I was going to come out that fast. It bounced off, and then it spun really weird, so it was going to go in anyways, even though it would have went in directly if I didn't touch it. So that just shows you if you and your teammates work hard together, you can get a result. So you need your defenders if you want to keep goals down. You need defenders who are working hard, willing to sacrifice their body, which is clearly what Ping Shen was doing right there. Okay, and we move on. Here's your save. So can you talk a little bit about that save? That just probably is because I'm tall. When I see myself play, I think I understand why I didn't have a girlfriend until I was well into my 20s. I think 21, 22. But I mean, yeah, if you don't make that play, you're just not a good goalkeeper. To me, I'm lucky because I'm tall. I mean, I had to jump some, but if I was a shorter keeper, it'd maybe be a quite difficult save. But those are two of my plays that are pretty obvious. But so why are you saying Well, I think it misses a lot because and if you, of course, you check the news article. What I think I did really well that game was I came out and got a lot of balls in the air. And I made some good saves, but those were the big plays that I took their air game away from them. And you don't see any of that. But we actually prepared one play that I think that you had mentioned before, and it wasn't on the highlights, but we're going to see the rest of the game. You're actually coming right there, yes?
跟到的太精彩了。这个球如果是10年前的魔豪，应该就会完成射门，对，完成一个铲射啊。对，这球深泽啊，4传10射啊。对，这个射带传啊。好，张浩伟的角球开前点，可惜。啊，没有第二波了。对，别的短的队友并没有接应上啊。这时候程序员裁判吹响了全场比赛结束的哨音，最后这一场西甲联赛本季第7轮。
Okay, so we're going to stop right there. Now, after watching the highlights of these two games, what do you think? Well, I don't think highlights showed the way a match goes, you know. Against Futuro, I mean, I didn't really make any big plays. It missed a couple things that I think I did well coming out of my box, a couple air balls and things like that. But I think the second game, it didn't show. It looks like we're actually quite dangerous, but Futuro had the ball almost the whole game. They had probably at least 70%, 80% possession. It was always in our half. It was in front of our goals. And defenders, including me, we made tons of saves and great plays. And you know, a lot of our guys were hurt and things like that. So we had a couple opportunities, but they were so much more dangerous, and some of their dangerous opportunities weren't even shown. Okay, well, we have one more highlight we're going to show to you, and we put it in slow motion to help our viewers see what you did on that play.
会是一个折射的情况啊，变成有一个头槌攻门的机会，最后吴梦琪被裁判颁警告，他
up in the air.
之后，那这边朱一成
And did that hit your elbow right there?
但是因为没有对向球门，然后朱的想要射门的时候呢，但是他的
Yeah, the ball is up in the air, and you know I'm coming out right here in front of him. He hits it first, but there's no way for him to do anything with it. And I decided to come out there because if I stay on the line, he played in Korea. I think he was all the way up in the second division. He's a professional. He has so much of a goal to hit. And the ball got hit and deflected, which is why it flew like that. And so I felt I had to come out and get in front of him. And then it actually, they don't realize it, but it was going towards the goal, and then it directed this way because it hit my arm.
那这边朱一成的头锤，但是因为没有对向球门，然后朱恩的想要
And maybe goalkeepers would not come out in that situation because they're afraid of you know, getting a foul there. If I don't touch the ball, I could get in trouble. But to me, you know, I went out and I touched the ball and I stopped the goal. So that to me was the big play, because I think that's what separates me, is that with a regular keeper, you know, you're going to probably stay right in front of your goal, right on the line. And to me, there's a good chance he's going to score that, because this guy, he's wide open, no one's defending him, he flicks it, and I'm not going to make the save. So to me, my belief in life, and I remember there was a keeper in the English Premier League that said this, and his idea is just touch every ball as you can when you're a keeper. If you can touch it, touch that ball, because in the end, a ball that you touch as a goalkeeper is probably less likely to result in a goal. But when you don't go out and when you don't make plays, it's going to make life difficult for you. So to me, I want to come out and I want to get to every ball I can, because that's going to force them to play out farther wide, right? So they can't play directly. If I can stand up and stand outside of my goal, I can force them to play on the sides of the field, and that's less dangerous. All the goals happen in the middle of the field. And then also, if I come out and get the balls in the air that they're trying to drop in the box, that's going to make them give up, and they're going to try to play it in slowly, and that gives my whole team more time. So to me, you know, I liked what I did that game. I didn't do a good job kicking and distributing, but to me, I got a lot of balls in the air. I made some good saves, and then I think I changed the way that Futuro wanted to play the game, because I kept on getting air balls and putting pressure on their guys. Well, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you with us here today, Luke, and hopefully you can come back on our show next time on A Tale of Two Games, and maybe the next time with Tale of Two Games we'll show two great games, and we'll have to switch up our format. Well, I don't know about that, Adam. I always enjoy seeing, you know, the games that you don't do so well in, because you learn a lot from losses and poor mistakes, because then next time you don't have the same one. But thank you so much for having me on the show, and anytime you give me a call, I'll be glad to be on the show. Well, thank you so much, Luke. It's been an honor. And so that is our show today, A Tale of Two Games with Adam Cribbs. If you have any questions, hit up our IG or any of our any of our other social media sites. Thanks.